Hey student, watch this video if you want to learn a little bit more about present perfect and how to use ever and never in English. Coming up. Hey friends, Teacher Prix here to help you talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime in English. Hey, another day, another lesson. Thank you so much for joining me on another video. If it's your first time here, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to teach you. I hope you like my lessons and I hope you subscribe. Yeah, from Monday to Friday, I have all kinds of English lessons to make you a better and more confident English speaker. Yeah. Excellent, my friends. Let's get down to business because today I have a lot of information. Present perfect again. I don't know if you follow my channel, if you are a subscriber, but I have been doing a series of present perfect lessons, okay? So this is another lesson of present perfect. Check out my channel. There are many present perfect lessons. When I finish today's lesson, yes, then I will start present perfect continuous. Everybody's asking me, teacher, please talk about present perfect continuous. Well, calm down. First, I have to show you everything I need about present perfect. Now, this is another lesson. Well, I think yeah, maybe there's another lesson. And then we go to present perfect continuous, but I will talk about these guys, okay? Awesome. So, quick review. Present perfect is a different conjugation in English that will combine present and past, okay? And in what situations do we use present perfect? I will use present perfect when I want to describe something that happened in the past, but this action has a consequence in my present. Okay, so this action started in the past, continues in the present, and may continue in the future. It's a possibility. It may continue. And when I say it may continue in the present, its consequence, all right, its consequence may continue in the present. Okay, for example, I have lived abroad. So when I say this, you can understand that it's a past situation. It's something that started in the past. Do I still live abroad? No. But here you can understand that I had this experience at a certain point in my life. And this has a consequence. Now I can talk about it. Okay? I can go back too if I want. Now, if I put time, if I put a fixed time expression, then I cannot use present perfect. If I use a finished period of time, I cannot use present perfect. So yesterday, last year, in 2009, 2 weeks ago, 2 semesters ago, 6 months ago. No, these are all expressions of time that are concluded, finished. Because of that, I cannot use present perfect. And I have showed you in other lessons that there are some expressions that you can use. For example, recently. I don't know exactly when. It's recently. Lately, this week. Today is Tuesday. The week is not finished yet. Okay? So that's what I am. So that's what I mean by that. What else can I say about review? Oh yes, the structure. The structure is easy, okay? You will use have or has. What's the difference? Well, in terms of translation, none, okay? They mean the same thing. Now, you will use have and has with different pronouns, with different subjects. So, I have, you have, he, she, it, or any word, any subject in the singular will require has. Then we have, you have, they have. They is the plural of he, she, it, and any other subject in the plural. The doctors have saved my daughter's life. Okay? Now remember, I cannot use fixed, finished time expressions. The moment I do that, I have to go to simple past. That's the biggest difference between these guys. With simple past, I focus on the finished activity, on the conclusion. With present perfect, I don't. I tell you about things that I did, experiences that I had, but that's not my focus here. And that's the beauty of present perfect. And believe me, native speakers use present perfect, and so should you. Awesome. Ah, teacher, this review is so quick. You're talking so fast. It's a review, my friends. If you want a complete lesson about present perfect, where I go in all the details, go back to my channel, take a look at the videos. I have several present perfect videos. I will create a playlist just with the present perfect videos. What do you think of that? Let me know here in the comments if you think that's a good idea. All right, moving on. Let's talk about ever. So the focus of this lesson today is to talk about two important words. And why am I showing you ever and ever? Teacher, is just to teach more grammar? No. Many English learners have problems to use present perfect. They don't know when they are going to use present perfect. Here in this lesson, I'm going to give you a very popular situation when you have to use present perfect. And in this situation, you have to use ever and never. So these are easy situations. So if you have no idea how to use present perfect, tonight we're going to change that. You're going to find a speaking situation when to use present perfect. So here, let's focus on ever. Basically, you use ever in questions. Oh, but teacher, I saw this music, this song, there was ever, it was not a question. Yeah, that happens. You will see ever in some affirmative sentences, but that's not my focus here, okay? My focus is to teach you present perfect, to teach you a more basic structure. There are more uses of ever, but let's focus on the lesson, okay? But I always like to make this disclaimer because there are always people that come in the comments and say, hey, you didn't say that. Well, if I sit down here and tell you everything about English grammar, brother, we're gonna stay here for a long time, okay? So I'm giving you what is important for you to speak, okay? That's my focus here. I want to make you talk. Anyways, you're gonna use ever in questions. And what kind of questions are these, okay? This is a present perfect question. And when I use ever in this question, I am changing the idea a little bit. Basically, I want to know about the person's experience in life. So if I ask you a question with present perfect and I use ever, I want to know, considering all your life until this very moment, if you did something or not, okay? If you had that experience or not. So if I use ever in a question, in a conversation with someone, I want to know if until this day in your life, you had this experience or not. How many times? I don't care. I just want to know if you did or not. If you had this experience or you didn't have this experience. After you say yes or no, then I will ask you more questions. But this first question is with present perfect. Let me show you some examples. Have you ever been to the United States? So until today, since you were a baby, did you have this experience? Yes or no? Okay, so that's the idea. Have you ever been to the United States? Yeah, I have. Oh, when did you go? So you see, I start the conversation with present perfect. I want to know if the person had that experience or not. If the person says yes, then I have to go to simple past because then I will ask, okay, when? Where did you go? Then I will be more specific. This is a perfect kind of question for you to start conversations or to ask something different, okay? Maybe you are in a restaurant with someone and then you can ask, hey, have you ever had Jamaican food? Huh, never. I have never had Jamaican food. Okay? Oh yeah, sure. When did you eat Jamaican food? In my last vacation, I tried this new restaurant and it was Jamaican. I'm kidding. I've never had Jamaican food. I don't know why I always insist on Jamaican food. I have to try Jamaican food because in my I had this video in my channel, like it's an old video, and I talked about Jamaican food. Okay, I have a thing with Jamaican food. I have to try it sometime. Awesome. So, have you ever broken an arm or a leg? So, think about when you were a baby until today. Did you have this experience? Did this happen to you? Have you ever broken an arm or a leg? In my case, never. Thank goodness. How about you? Have you ever broken an arm or a leg? With this question, I want to know, considering all your life, all your experiences until today, if you had this or not. And here, if you pay attention, this is the position. If it's a yes or no question, okay? I use have you, or if it's has she, has your friend, has your best friend, has your mother, have your parents, have you, has your dog, okay? Has your dog ever been sick? Yes, teacher. My dog has been sick. You know, a few weeks ago, he had a serious problem. He had a surgery, but he's fine now. Okay, so this is the kind of question that you're going to ask, and this is the position. Have you ever, or has she ever, has the dog ever, has this restaurant ever? And then you use the sequence of the verb and the complement. Okay, and again, if this part of the question is a little bit complicated for you, then you can go back to my previous lessons where I can give you further explanations and give you a little bit more about the structure. Okay, excellent. Very well, moving on. Now we can focus on never. I like never. Basically, there are two scenarios here when you're going to use never. You can make affirmative sentences, but wait a second. This affirmative is just a structure because the word never will negate the phrase, okay? Will make the situation a little negative because you didn't do, okay? You never did. And to answer questions. So you can answer a question. For example, I ask you, have you ever broken an arm or a leg? No, never. This is a short answer. In the real world, that's the answer you're going to give. You're not going to look at the person and say, oh, no, I have never broken an arm or a leg. How about you? Well, you can do that. But usually in conversations, if someone says, hey, have you ever broken an arm or a leg? No, never. How about you? Oh, me neither. Never. Strong as a horse. Okay, so that's the context here, but it's important that you learn how to make the long phrases because in conversations you can share experiences. This is not just about answering a question but also about sharing information. So maybe you are in a restaurant and you are talking to your girlfriend or boyfriend or native friends that you make, and then you can say, hey, I have never eaten at this restaurant, it's my first time, I'm so excited. So what are you saying? That until that day you had never eaten at that restaurant, it's your first time. So this is a good way for you to use, and that's why it's important for you to learn all the phrase, because in let's think of the real world. Okay, in the real world it's not going to be like this. Someone starts to ask you 100 questions with ever. Have you ever been to Canada? Have you ever been here? Have you ever danced tango? Have you ever jumped rope? No, they will ask 1 or 2 questions in a conversation. Okay, and then if you are in a conversation and you want to share about you, about your life and things you never did until now, maybe one day, who knows, then you have to use this, okay, to show the person that you never had this experience in your life. And you can't use simple past. Well, you can, but the best option is present perfect. Now here, I have never traveled abroad. Let me know here in the comments, have you ever traveled abroad? If yes, tell me when. If no, tell me no, never. Okay, that's how you answer in a real conversation. Okay, and if your answer is no, you've never traveled abroad, then tell me where you want to go, because I'm sure that you have plans and dreams. So have you ever traveled abroad? If the answer is no, tell me where you want to go. If the answer is yes, tell me where you went. Simple past. Ah, teacher, yes, I went to Canada. I went to Ireland, and so on. So here, participate. Awesome. Okay, so basically, this is how you are going to use present perfect in conversations. And many English learners, they are so focused on understanding all the rules, understanding the grammar aspect, and they forget the conversation. Okay, so what I'm giving you in this lesson, what I gave you in the yet and already lesson, are situations. You are going to start using present perfect when you stop and pay attention to the situations when you can use. This happens all the time. So if you are in a conversation with a foreigner and they tell you something nice they did and you never did, then you have to say present, you have to use present perfect. Oh, I have never been to this restaurant. Is it good? Yes, it's a great restaurant. You have to go. Oh, I have never played the guitar. Do you think it's a good hobby? Because you are playing, and so I would love to know. Hey, awesome. I have never tried any different hobby. Do you think playing the guitar would be a nice hobby for me to try? Hey, for sure, my friend. So this is a good place for you to insert present perfect. Okay? Awesome. Homework. Tell me, I have 3 questions for you. Well, one is a 2-hour question, the other is not necessarily a question. Have you ever traveled abroad? I want you to come in the comments and tell me. If yes, tell me where you went. If no, just put no, never, and then tell me where you would like to go. Question number 2, have you ever seen Teacher Prix in person? Haha, not just online, in person. I don't think many of you have, but let's see, who knows. And 3, tell me one thing, here, pay attention, important. Tell me one thing you have never done, but you would like to do. Okay? So tell me one thing you have never done in your life, but you would love to try. You know, you would love one day to wake up and bang, go do that thing. And tell me in English, of course. Other than that, my friends, please share this video with your friends. It really helps the channel. And make sure to hit the like button. That way you help the channel grow. And you also help me understand that this was a nice lesson for you guys. Thank you so much. And I will see you tomorrow for another lesson. Bye-bye.